I didn't think I was going to be making another video on Vitaly until after he was put away, and then I could talk about finally some things are being done, but apparently the situation just got a lot crazier. Vitaly's local henchman on the run. Well, this is probably going to be an insane story. I made a video the other day on Vitaly about his court appearance and what he got arrested for in the live streams and all that. If you want to check that out, if you want to catch up on this whole insane situation, also the Johnny Smalley situation, you can check that out too. I've covered pretty much the whole thing. And I'd say that story is even more insane than this one, but this one has got some criminality to it, some actual real criminality. This one might end up being even dumber than the Johnny Somali situation. What's sad is I don't even think these two are going to be the dumbest ones. I think the dumbest IRL streamer has yet to be seen. But let's see what's going on with this situation, with this weird Vitaly henchman on the run situation.
Hey everyone, it's Legal Mindset here. Andrew Esquire, American attorney over here in Asia with a premiere. This is a update coming to you during the middle of the day, when a time when most people are sleeping in the US and out there doing stuff in Asia. But I wanted to bring it to you because we have news that Vitaly, while Vitaly himself is in jail, his criminal henchman, his local thug.
I am so glad that one of these streamers is actually in jail. So Vitaly is in jail. He's not just like out in some apartment somewhere waiting for trial like Johnny Somali.
Is on the run. We're going to talk today about Vitaly's crimes and how his criminal accomplice can be culpable for those crimes. In fact, some of those crimes he specifically violated himself through his actions. So as you may or may not know, Vitaly was locked up after a criminal spree, both in Boracay and across Manila, culminating in a series of crimes across Bonifacio Global City, BGC, as it's called, and I'll shorthand it here, a place where I used to live for a couple months. That was resulting in him being locked up, being detained. He is awaiting prosecution. They are not going to deport Vitaly. He is going to stay within a Filipino jail until he gets his trial, which could be 2 to 3 years.
Wow. He could be locked up for 2 to 3 years awaiting trial. Yeah, it's not like America over there. You don't got rights like America does. Good luck with that. Looks like we're not going to be seeing him for a while, except for in stories from journalists.
And then his sentence, which is expected to be somewhere between 5 years to maybe 10 years. So we're looking at, could be 20, but most people have predicted somewhere between 5 and 10 is reasonable amount of time that he might catch from those charges. Now, that said, while Vitaly is behind bars, and we are all happy about that here on this channel. In fact, if you like Vitaly being behind bars, smash that like button.
I think it's good for him. I think Vitaly being locked up will be good for him because he can't be out on the streets hurting himself, hurting other people. He can't crash out without being bombarded by people who aren't going to deal with his annoying shit, because that's the way it is in prison. Like, you do not be annoying, because then you'll end up getting beat with a sack of soap, bars of soap in the middle of the night. You don't want that.
But his criminal accomplices, his local people that helped him, are the reason why he was able to do what he did. Without those people enabling him and showing him where to go, telling him the places to go, directing him, and most importantly, holding the camera, many of these crimes wouldn't be committed. In fact, some of these crimes, such as videotaping people without permission or videotaping in a...
Wait, the camera guy, he's the one who's on the run? The guy who's like, a bunch of crimes got committed, or like a bunch of laws got broken today. Is it that guy?
Certain area that he wasn't allowed to videotape in. Those things were directly culpable on the cameraman, on the person who was holding that camera, who is a local by the name of Christopher P. Dantes, aka Sly Kane, as he goes by online, and he is still on Kick. Now, Vitaly has been, I believe, clicked off that platform by now, but this guy, Sly Kane, is still streaming on that platform. But let's give you a reminder as to his culpability as to this whole incident. So I'm going to play a clip. This is from Grandpa Tozy's coverage of this, and you're going to just see
Kick is just a garbage platform, man. I streamed there for a little while, and it was all gambling ads and bots. It was just not a good time. A lot of degenerate content on there. Did not like. 0 out of 10.
exactly how involved this cameraman is, Sly Kane, Christopher P. Dantes.
Arc is back. Demon time.
Saan po Shangri-La, kuya? Shangri-La?
So, bro, I know where we are.
Okay.
Don't you want to scam me?
Oh, damn, this is cardio today, chat.
There he is. That's Christopher B. Dantes, Sly Kane, right there in form. Once again, he's the one holding the camera.
He looks like all the other IRL streamers that have been doing a bunch of crazy stuff in other countries. He just looks like one of them.
When Vitaly says demon time.
They've all got this, they all like have this backpack thing going on, colored hair, trying to look like they're in 9th grade again. Probably never left the 9th grade.
When it's demon time, Sly Kane is there to help out Vitaly. Let's continue this and watch what he says about knowingly. Watch what he knows he did wrong.
Ain't that
Here,
some
hold
shit?
it. Just film it. Film it.
All right.
Boss, let me see.
Oh my God, so many laws have been broken today.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Like, if you knew, why'd you let it go on? You should have known that you were going to be culpable also. You're an accomplice.
So many laws have been broken today. There was so many laws have been broken today. And Atozy cut off at the same time I was going to cut off. But he knew. And when you have that, what we call mens rea, the state of mind where you know that you broke laws and you did it willingly. And you even saw that interaction. Vitaly said, film it. And he bent the knee and said, yes, sir, I'm going to film this for you.
But I didn't break any laws. No, it was all Vitaly. I just happened to be there with the camera the entire time, all day, and bending to his will. He forced me. He forced me to film him do all these illegal things.
Right? He did it for him, knowing he was breaking the law. He knew intentionally what he was doing. We knew that the laws were broken. In fact, he knew that many laws were broken, not just one. And he did it anyways. He never stopped. He never turned the camera off. He never told Vitaly to chill. He never said, hey, wait a minute, we shouldn't do this. He never stopped him when he threatened to rob a woman. He never stopped him when he threatened to try to take a guard's gun, when he tried to take the motorbike, when he took the fan, none of this other stuff.
Yeah, he just let it all happen. And I don't think that he's going to be able to play it off in court like, no, it wasn't me doing the crimes. He might get something lesser, but I think this dude's going to be seeing time too. Because the Philippines, apparently, they don't fuck around.
Did he ever stop Vitaly? He just let him do whatever he was going to do and held the camera for him. And he knew better. And he could have at any point cut the stream. He could have terminated the video. He could have turned it off. He could have done whatever. Right. And that would have been something he could have done. But he decided not to do that. Now, the president and as well as several other people in the government have made announcements that they are indeed looking for the accomplice of Vitaly, which is Christopher P. Dantes.
Oh boy, not good for him. He's probably going to be doing like 5-10 years. If they give him the same treatment that they're giving Vitaly, of course. If he's a citizen of the Philippines, I don't know. They might go a little bit easier on him. We'll see. We'll see.
So he, after this went down, went on the run. Now you can also see, I'm going to pull up here. This is another photo of him so you guys can get a good, nice picture of him here. Obviously, I know we have a lot of viewers over in the Philippines. By the way, big shout out to all my Pinoy brothers and sisters. You guys have been great on this, helping me with translations whenever there is stuff in Tagalog. You guys are great to send me the translations, and thank you so much for that. I know there'll be some stuff I'm going to ask you for help on in the future. So thank you over there in the Philippines. But if you guys see him, obviously, you know what to do. You know it's time to report him to police. You know it's time to call up and say, hey, we know where this guy is. Come pick him up. Come find him.
This guy is fucked. Because I bet everybody knows about this situation. Everybody's probably seen this guy. If you're online, of course. I don't know if he's being blasted in the news yet or not, that they're looking for him. But man, this... he's 100% cooked. 180% fucked right now.
Because he is on the run. And how do we know he's on the run? Well, actually, his own streaming has given him away. One thing, and you're going to see this even in the comments of his chat here, is streamers tell on themselves. And because IRL streamers have to stream IRL, they have to stream in real life, they are ultimately condemned to eventually be caught, because somebody that is watching them, including law enforcement, is going to look at their streams, is going to look at what they're...
I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah. Yeah, 100%. Somebody is going to see like a sign in the background and be like, I know exactly where he is, and then report it. And it might even be somebody from a whole entire different country. One of those geolocator guys. There's a lot of YouTubers, big YouTubers, talking about this. I think even Asmongold talked about this.
Doing and be able to tell where they are. The power of the internet is with even a little bit of information, even with a tiny bit of information, people will be able to find where you are. People can do geoguessing pretty accurately just based on limited information.
A blade of grass. All they need is like the type of tree, and then they would be able to find you. Just like that.
But in this case, he gave away a ton of information about where he was recently, hiding out outside of Manila. Now, I'm going to show the video where he really gives it away. This is his vacation video. So he's out here. He filmed this just on April 13th, right? And you're going to see, you even see in the chat, I'm going to read some of these chats, which are actually funny. Somebody asked why he left Manila, and then he says, too much heat, probably. And then Kripke says, someone told me you're on the lam. Yeah, everybody. Because he is on the lam. He is running from the cops. He is running from, the justice system that is looking for him. And then even right here, it says, saying, are you not going to stream in Manila? No, because the second he goes back to Manila, he knows somebody is going to catch him. Somebody's going to find him. Somebody's going to report him, right? They probably have a warrant out for him or whatever, whatever equivalency is going on there in Manila. So he would definitely get caught if he slips up in Manila. So instead, he decided to go to a private resort. We're going to show little details, and we're going to then show you how it was found.
He's just trying to chill out before his inevitable arrest. He's just trying to live out his days on the beach, his final days of freedom. I don't blame him. That's probably where I'd go too if I had the money to just go to a private resort and just wait for the cops to come. Why not? Probably not what he's doing.
So you see here, I'm not going to play the audio because there's some copyright music in the background, so I don't want to get hit on that. But you can see the buildings in the background, and because you can see those buildings in the background, that was enough information, guys. The buildings in the background and the beach and kind of the layout, that was enough to be able to tell exactly where he was.
You can't hide if you're on the internet, man. People know exactly where you're at. You post an Instagram photo, they got you. If you're doing an IRL stream, which is 10 times easier to find out where you're at, you're fucked. They got you. You can't hide from the internet anymore. You have to completely get off the internet.
And from that information, the netizens out there, within a day, 1 day of him being there, identified him as staying at Maya's little private resort. Now, by the way, it seems like a fine institution. I'm not going to besmirch their resort. They probably had no idea who he was or whatever, but they were able to figure that out very, very easily, that it was Maya's little private resort down there in San Vicente, Besong, Padre Burgos, Quezon. So he was hanging out there. And how do they know? Well, when you look at the buildings, they're kind of specific, and you can see them in this, see a very similar shot in this video from their own resort Facebook page.
Yeah, because these IRL streamers are morons. Obviously not all of them, just the ones that we've been talking about. They just can't help themselves. They have to show everything and talk about everything in their lives. Obviously, he's probably not going to be like, Oh, I'm on the run from the police right now.
So if you go to their Facebook page here and you just play this video, we're going to play this here. You're able to see pretty much the same beach, the tables that he was at. And then when you turn around, boom, there it is. You see that same building over there? It's the exact same building.
Got him. That was easy. If 1 million people do 1 million different things trying to find where you're at least one of them's gonna find you. That's how it works. And there's more than 1 million people who are following this case. Well, I don't know if all of those millions are actually finding information, but a big percentage of them, and all it takes is one person just to find a little bit of information. 2 heads are better than 1. 1 million heads will find out when you're running from the cops and where you're at.
1 for 1. Internet. This is the power of the internet. They see the one building and they're like, oh, that's it. They're able to spot it right from that building. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because one guy will find it and then share it, and then 10 guys will see it and they'll share it, and then 1,000 guys will see it and they'll share it. And it takes like minutes. It takes minutes.
Isn't that crazy? So immediately he is doxxed. People report him to authorities. That information gets out there and he runs away immediately the same day, within hours. Once again, I showed you this before. And it's funny again, you get him on the run in his car. He had gone there with his family, but he packs up his entire family. He cuts the vacation short and he hits the road. And he is running away right here from everybody because he knows he has to get out of there before the cops show up and before they haul him off. One of the fun facts I also think here is it's funny in the chat. They also acknowledge his association with ICE and the CX crew. And, once again, it shows you this broader connection of this henchman to people that are causing problems and being a nuisance all around Asia. So this guy, Christopher P. Dantes, if you are in the Philippines and you see this guy, obviously you should report this guy. He is definitely on the run. He is definitely wanted by Philippine authorities. And
people are going to try and find where this guy is and report this guy for internet points, for meaningless internet points. Because that's just the way the internet works. This guy cannot run. He cannot hide because the internet's after him. More than just the police right now. Police don't even got to do anything. They just got to listen to the internet when the internet tells them, hey, this is where he's at and he can't go anywhere now. Dude's going to actually have to get off the internet. And still somebody would be like, is this the guy? And take a picture of him. And then post it on the internet. And then within minutes, it'll be everywhere.
that's information that I think people would want to know. Now, I do imagine he's probably going to try to hide out in the countryside or hide out somewhere. But hey, there's people out in the countryside watching this too, spreading this information. And if you guys want to spread this video and share this video out, I'm making it shorter so it's easier to get out.
He has a wife and kids, yeah? How could he let this happen to himself? Why would he do this? Dude is he might be even dumber than Johnny Somali. Because at least Johnny Somali is just one guy with no kids, no wife or nothing. But Legal Mindset said that he had a family. He packed up his family, so he's got a wife and kids? What a moron. I feel sorry for his children and his wife.
And remember, without what this guy did, without him helping, he wouldn't have harassed Filipinos. He wouldn't have threatened to rob somebody. He wouldn't have pretty much made the whole nation into a disgrace by allowing that behavior as a local, right? As a local, saying, I'm going to enable this guy who came to mock our country, to mock Filipinos and profit off of it on the internet for money, and say, we're going to mock you for and literally treat you as a lower form, right? Like, I can just come here and do whatever I want because I'm this Russian American guy, and then I can just do whatever I want and run off, and we're going to profit off of it. That's what he thought he was going to do. He thought he was going to make a lot of money on that. And now Vitaly is paying the price. It's time for Christopher B. Dantes, aka Sly Kane, to pay the price as well.
They all think the same thing. I think Legal Mindset just summed it up real well. But he's missing one thing. That they think that they'll get slapped with a really big fine and they'll just pay it and get out of it, and then they won't go back to that country Or maybe they will, depending on how big the fine is, if they think that they'll just get another fine. But them actually getting arrested and seeing hard time, not just a month, not just 90 days, hard time, years in prison, that's a pretty big deterrent for them to not make their countries look like a whole bunch of retards running the show. Well, maybe that's it for the Vitaly situation for now. I guess we'll be talking about this other guy situation, the cameraman for Vitaly. Buy a t-shirt down there in the description. I'll see you next time. I'm out.